Hi guys, it's me again, Marianne, and I have a thought today. Marianne's thoughts. um, I've come across a few things that were interesting. Near near death experiences. Has anybody out there ever had one? Share what happened. Did you go to heaven? Did you go to hell? Did you you know um, remember anything? Um, Flatliners, my husband and I watched that, and that kind of threw in the idea of that. Plus, the fact that years ago, back in 1993, I was pregnant with a little baby, and at 5 months pregnant with her, I got really sick, and just to touch me like this, just like that, I would come off the table screaming in pain. And come to find out, I was losing my daughter, and her name was Brittany Danielle Wooten. And But they did my first ever surgery I ever had in my whole entire life that day. I remember, I remember the doctor came in and said, we need you, just, tell tell your mom and your husband, who was my husband at the time, bye, and that you love them. And they told me that, and I told them that. I thought that was something that everybody did when they had surgery. I mean, it was my first surgery. So then I went in, and I had this surgery, and my husband just came in. But anyway, I had this surgery, and they put me to sleep because, to touch me, I would, scream in pain. So they had to put me asleep, and they delivered my daughter, who was born dead. She would have been 25 this year. But anyway, while I was put under, I actually had a dream. I was in a Whataburger with my whole entire family, and then I looked over at the corner. You know how if somebody opens the door, the sun shines in, and you kind of tend to look to see who's coming through that door. Well, it was two angels at the door. So I began to walk with them. And as we was walking, we walked through like a lot of people say like a tunnel when they leave. But this was more like a pure white corridor. The walls, the ceiling, the floors was all like a pure white color. And it was just like walking a long, long corridor. But anyway, the angels were talking to me, and I was talking to them. But whenever we talked, our mouths didn't move. Though we could hear each other, it was like we were actually talking, like I am to you now. But my mouth wasn't moving. It was like, So anyway, I was like walking with them, and then I was like, I really need to go back. My family needs me. Well, the next thing I know, I woke up, and the nurse is asking me, "Hey, did you have any strange dreams, honey?" And I was like, "Yeah, actually." And then I told her about the dream. Of course, I did throw up on her, bless her heart. But I told her about that, and then I also told her about as I remembered coming back in my dream, I was like watching them work on me down below and rushing around and hearing this, noise. And then, but the main thing was kind of funny is to my right, behind me on this side here, there was like a silver, where they keep supplies and stuff cabinet there. And on top of it, there was one of them things that they put in your mouth, incubate thing, goes in your mouth when they're doing surgery and stuff. But it was on top of there. And on top of there was like this much, about 3 inches or so of dust on top. And I was like, how dare they work on me with all that dust? This is supposed to be a sterile environment, and which was kind of funny. But the nurse later did verify that was up there, and there was dust there. So and everything I described about the operating room was true, which I'd never seen it going in, and I didn't see it coming out. But anyway, To make that long story a little bit shorter, they the next morning, I didn't know I had passed or anything. The next morning, the doctor came in. He looked at my family and said, has anybody told her what had happened? And they said no. Well, he told me, my daughter was gone, which, I kind of knew that part. Because moms kind of feel that once their babies are gone, that attachment's, kind of gone. But, so then he said, well, while you were under, we lost you. He said, you flatlined, you were pretty much died. And we had trouble trying to bring you back. And he said, we had to give a shot to you in your heart and to get you, to come back and, everything. So, come to find out, my white blood cells had overpopulated my red blood cells. Remember me telling you, ouch, whenever they would barely touch me and come up off the table? Well, that's why I had died, because I had very few red blood cells left in my system. So, here I went through losing a baby, dying, coming back, So that's my story on what had happened. The angels did, whenever their wings moved, it was like they had glitter, like shiny, all kind of color looking glitter, and it was just as it would float. But back and forth when they moved their wings. But it was kind of neat experience there. Of course, I thought it was a dream, but there was, there was a confirmation that I had died. They brought me back, and the nurse did confirm that there was that much dust on top with one of them things. So that was kind of really interesting. So share any of your near life death experiences or anything like that, or an experience of someone you love and know, sort of thing. I'm wanting to post some videos on near death experiences as well, so you can look through there, and we'll share and see what happens. Thanks. Have a great night. Later.